brother. So I guess we're live. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to the show. Caleb, brother, I appreciate your time, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, anytime. I'm glad today I was able to fit you in.
Oh, definitely.
I need you to grab that mug, though.
This mug.
So I got you. How do you feel about bone broth?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah? You're not a vegan?
No, I'm not a vegan.
Good.
No.
Not sure. Somebody got nervous. So careful. It might be a little hot, so just
It looks a little.
be mindful. Yeah, because I burnt my tongue on it earlier. But basically, 2 days ago, or like yesterday afternoon at this time, I was helping my brother kill some birds, and they all just happened to be chickens.
Okay.
And with that being said, I took one, I roasted it over the fire that night, put a beer up the chicken, set it on fire, and then brought it back, put the carcass and whatever chicken was left. I've been making bone broth ever since I got home today around 9.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's as fresh as it could be, dude.
Killing chickens. All right. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, dude. Anytime. So with that, let's start with your. What's your transition been like since? I usually like to say from high school to now, but let's focus on kind of when we met. So maybe grade 10.
Grade 10. Yeah, that's when I met you. Yeah. Track North.
Yes, sir.
Good times. So my transition from like then to like kind of to now. Oh gosh. Well, I guess like in grade 9, I qualified for NASA and like the 3K, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm pretty good. I'm okay, I guess. Like, yeah. I don't know. And then I got like slapped at like NASA. I think I finished like 12th or something. Mm-hmm. But I was like, okay, like I'd like to, I want to get better. Like I don't know. I obviously I enjoyed running at the time. Really, like, I don't know, really what got me into running specifically was, like, my cross-country coach in, like, the 9th grade. She kind of got me, like I was already, like, interested in running, but then she, like, just kind of, like, supported me a lot. She got me into it. So then going into, like, the summer, I was like, okay, cross-country's coming up. I'd like to, like, kind of, like, get to the next level a little more, because I think I ran, like, an 11:24, like, 3K, which is, like, not great for me anyway.
Yeah,
for what we were running, and I remember like just looking at the results, and like I remember seeing like Liam's name and like Ty, and I'm like, oh man, like those are the guys, and I need to catch those guys, and because they were winning, and they're finishing 1-2 or so, and they were going to OFSA and stuff, and I wanted to go to OFSA. So then I joined Track North. I think it was July 10th, 2000. That was 2013. So yeah, it's been just over 7 years now. I've been with Track North actually now, and so I joined the club, and I remember my first practice, I got like just murked on the warm up by the guys. Yeah, I met them, and I was like some random kid that like came from like the valley, and they're like, okay, I got murdered. I got murdered in the warm up, and then but they were really nice guys. Liam and Ty and Costello was there too. And then I ended up meeting you, like that summer. Yeah, met Glenn. Yeah. Met Glenn through Track North, and we all trained together. And I remember that year in grade 10. I think like they were up there, but I remember being like, just like always. I was always like I was chasing you.
Yeah, I remember too. I did want to talk about this. I did want to get into this.
Yeah, you're like the one Track North. You're the Track North guy that I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and catch Glenn. Because Costello was.
He was a year younger.
Yeah, and then I had to run a year up because I was older, so I had to run senior grade 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
So I was racing. So I had to race against you guys. So you were grade 12, right?
Yeah, I was grade 12. Yeah,
you were grade 12, and then Liam and Ty were grade 11, and I was grade 10. So it was like us 4 were all in the same age category, so we all had to race each other. And I remember I don't know, Liam and Ty were like just kind of like another level,
so upper echelon when it came to distance running.
So I couldn't really so I wasn't at that level yet. So then I was like, well, Glenn's a little below there. Yeah. I'll try to catch Glenn.
Nice. No, 100%. Yeah. I wasn't at that. It was a weird thing for me because I was in grade 12 with the hopes that there would be cross country running and track and field in Algonquin, where I was going to Ottawa.
Yeah.
But the problem is they pulled the program.
Oh yeah.
And I found that out mid-season. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It was discouraging, right? Because you work for something and you're trying to build so that you can compete, like you said, on that upper level with those guys, and then it's like, well, now for me, at least what I remember feeling at the time was almost like, what's the point? I'm trying to do this so I can get good and train and still do this sport, which I really enjoy, but at a different school in a different, like, more elite level and see where, like, try it out there. And it was like, hey, we're pulling the program.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
And then talking to my program coordinator, she's like, well, there's not a lot of time for extracurricular, which is not true. I was able to make a lot of bad decisions in extracurricular activities. So,
there was a lot of time for activities.
yeah, plenty of room. So it went well, but yeah, I remember thinking about it too today. I was like, man, Caleb was like right behind me, and then all of a sudden he wasn't.
So yeah, I remember it's funny because I don't know, it was really weird, but when I joined track and went that first year, I remembered Liam because his last name, Ty because his first name, and you because your last name is this really long.
I don't need to get into it. Yeah.
You scroll down the results, you can see it'd be like kind of like they'd all be like this length, and you get to your name, be like out here,
yeah,
and then you get short
like,
again, and I'm like, oh, that's where Glenn is, and I'm like, oh, I'm two behind him. Damn it.
Yeah, you guys would read down and out. I read out and in. It's like, all right, got 6th.
There you go.
Caleb got 5th.
And I remember like running even pre-ops. I remember I remember there'd be times where like you and I would be like literally in the race together, or you'd be like, or I remember you passing me. I think once. Yeah. I remember thinking like, shit, like, because I was tired and I was like, oh, there's no way.
Yeah, I remember that too. And then
I think that was pre-OPSA.
I think you're right.
Pre-OPSA.
Yeah.
It was like around like where the soccer fields are.
I think it was. I don't know if it was. It was because we all made it to NASA.
Oh yeah.
But I think what it was is, It was either I beat you at cities and you beat me at NASA, or vice versa.
It was.
I'm not sure what it was.
Gosh, I think you might have been like 2 spots ahead of me at NASA, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but it was in North Bay.
No, that was the one. That was the one where you were a few spots ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, because I did not. I rolled my ankle, dude. I messed it all
Man,
up.
That was I do remember that actually. I remember you telling me that. Dude, that court, yeah, that
Very
golf, like
course.
it got really intense in the middle of that golf course. And it was remember like it was like snowing. Good times, NASA up in Sudbury. Either rains or snows. It seems
such a bad idea.
Good times.
But don't get me wrong. When I say I rolled my ankle, that's not taking away from your performance.
Oh,
because your time reflected everything.
Well, that was to that point. That was my best race, I'd say. And I remember
it showed.
Yeah, and I remember I missed. Well, it was in Sudbury, so there was like double the spots that made it. But I remember I think the top 16 made it, and I think I was 18th. So I just missed off. So I remember being so disappointed. And my cross country coach wasn't there, so she sent another teacher with us.
Oh, it's not the same.
Yeah, and I remember just being super upset, and my the kind of the sub coach was like, I don't know what to do. She was so nice. Her name, Mrs. Preen. You were a beauty. You're a beauty. Thanks for putting up with me.
So, speaking of which, though, how was it being it felt like you were the only one of your school a lot of times.
Yeah, no, I mean, really, I was the only one. Up until this year, when OFSA was back in Sudbury, I still was the only person to ever qualify from Bishop to go to OFSA. Cross country.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
That's huge. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good thing.
But yeah, no, it was tough just because it was the Valley, man. Living out in Hanmer.
Right.
I remember, because I didn't get my driver's license until I was in the 12th grade, so I busted. I busted from Bishop from Hanmer to the bus depot, then the bus depot to Laurentian. And I'd always get there 15 minutes late, so I'd have to put my stuff on before I left. So then I'd be sitting on the city bus with my weird my shorts on and my high compression socks, and people giving me weird looks, and I'm just
That's Sudbury.
Yeah, and I'd be falling asleep on the bus most of the time, listening to tunes.
Nice.
And I don't know. I had a bus groupie though.
Yeah. Yeah,
my friend Jose. Shout out to Jose. Went to Horizon.
Nice.
And we bussed together, so that was cool for a lot of the practices. But yeah, it was it was an hour and a bit commute, and then I get on then I'd take the 6:30 bus back to the Valley, and I wouldn't get home till 8, 10.
Jeez, dude.
But yeah, no, it did really feel weird, and because there wasn't really a culture of running or anything where the school I went to.
It even seemed like an athletic culture just was lacking, which actually not almost, but makes your accomplishments even greater.
Yeah, like I feel like definitely like towards the end of my I guess I wouldn't say career at Bishop, but like the end of my schooling at Bishop when I was leaving, like they had that best program and like the high skills major program that I graduated with as well.
Nice.
And thank you. And and it was like I feel like it was really good at the end there. Like our hockey teams were great.
Yep.
Our softball and baseball teams were really good.
Yep.
We did have for track we always had like solid reps for track. Like we always had every year I was there. We always had somebody go to OFSA track.
Nice.
Like I went my last 2 years, but even before me, like I had friends that went when I was in like the 10th grade and the 9th grade.
Nice.
When I was in the 9th grade, the NASA that I was talking about when I was like 12th or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
At that NASA, one of my closest friends at the time won the junior boys 400 from Bishop. So yeah, Scott, Speedy Man. So it's like in terms of like that, it was good. Like we always had like pretty big teams. Also, women's flag football was really good all the time.
Yeah.
And we had like our baseball was always
nice.
Good. But I mean, like in terms of like I guess like the big sports, I guess like our hockey wasn't always the strongest. Like on like our women's hockey team was good, but I guess on the men's side it wasn't like always that strong. In basketball, like wasn't always super duper strong, but we definitely had like a really solid. There's some solid teams. Like I think we like Bishop just went unnoticed just because like we were from the valley, and Hanbury, like we're a small school, but I feel like we did well athletically, in my opinion, honestly. But yeah, I mean like just because like we didn't win like the football city title every year or something.
Every year, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like
you guys were a double A school or single A?
We're single A.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
what does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't know what the difference.
No idea.
I'm pretty sure it's just like population based. I
think you might be right.
And we're just like I think we're like 350 to 400. So like it's a small school, man. So yeah, we were small.
Yeah, we were over 1,000 in my grade 9 year.
Holy,
just nuts.
Yeah, Lockerbie was big. St. Charles is the biggest now.
Yeah, that makes sense. St. Charles there.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
With that, I'm curious. How did that impact you, or positively or negatively, not having a big, let's say, support system in place in the form of teammates? Like you didn't have many teammates.
No,
if any at all.
I had some good actually. I like in like the early in my earlier years like in my grade 9 year, grade 10 year, like we had like a really good team. That's where I met a lot of my like really good friends actually, and it was great. But that's where I met a lot of people. But like in my later years, like my grade 12 year was definitely like my like toughest year in terms of like that, which was like which actually you would think would be the other way around, but my loneliest year was easily my 12th grade year.
Mm-hmm.
Like easily, because I was the only representative that went to cities.
Oh wow!
And I was the only one that went to NASA. And my coach couldn't come to cities, and she couldn't come to NASA.
Did she make it to OFSA?
She did come to OFSA with me. Yeah, she also took me to pre-OFSA too, which was like a really big thing. I went through like grade 12 was like a really big like grade 11 like basically grade 11 and all of grade 12 were like two really big years.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I'll get into that. But
we'll get there.
Before, I don't know. I mean, I think it was almost better. I feel like if I would have went to a bigger school, because man, like my body like did not respond well to running like at all.
No.
I raced in pants for cross country in grade 9 because I was wearing a double knee brace and a double ankle brace.
Jeez, dude.
So I had 2 knee braces and 2 ankle braces. I still have the ankle ones like literally in my dresser at home. And like because my body was like getting so destroyed.
Frame 'em. Yeah, I bet.
So my body's getting so destroyed from the training that like not even that I was like being pushed like extremely hard or anything, because I wasn't being pushed extremely hard, but it's just like
it's a bit more.
Yeah, but I guess just because like I don't know, I was pretty small and like weak pretty much like my whole life. So like then like I just like I started running, and then like I got like pretty beat up. But that's also when I started lifting though too.
Yeah.
Started lifting in grade 9.
Yeah, I know what you feel.
And then, but man, yeah, it was. I think the good thing was that like it allowed me to get more attention, because like I feel like if I would have been at a bigger school, I would have probably like kind of been like maybe pushed to the side a little more, like maybe overshadowed by like the ones that are really succeeding. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas I felt like at my school, like I was like really nurtured by like my coach.
Mm-hmm.
And like she really did look out for me, and like she was always really encouraging.
Oh, that's good.
And I still talk to her to this day. So,
Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, it was just I don't know. Yeah, and then even like that NASA, like I just ran really well in grade 9, and she was like super supportive of it and everything. She was really like, like just wait till like next year, and it's like so that motivated me.
Yeah.
And kept up the training, and then eventually I.
That's tricky though, because going through that at that time, and I can relate when it comes to, I wouldn't say feeling alone in those, like relating to your experiences through that way, but I like some of the people, like if you think back to who I had on my team, the friends I had in that like upper group of runners, were people younger than me and you guys, who I could more relate to because we're all training with the same mindset.
Yeah.
Of like carrying this next year and out of high school, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like, I didn't like Tim. And then Dave, Gordon, everything, like they're kind of not even nearly as like high up level, but all of them they're just kind of quiet, and they're more reserved into themselves, and I see them every day at school, so it's like a, hey, what's up? I know, like, familiar face, so I guess that's nice, but so when you go and it's everybody you know is like younger than you, you're like, well, you guys got your packs of friends, so I'm just like, all right, I'm the fastest one for the school. Let's do what we can and beat Caleb this time. Like, it's a different, tricky, like, it's a tricky thing if you're, but I definitely feel what you said, where getting, like, overshadowed.
Yeah.
Because of the accomplishments.
Yep. So yeah, but I mean, like, those were the good things. But yeah, I do think there were bad things. Like, definitely, I think like going to Bishop, like it being like, I don't know. I guess like in terms of like the whole Track North thing, like at the beginning, I don't think it was like a bad thing. But obviously, like when I joined Track North, like it just being far away was a bad thing.
Yep.
But just because like this is really like just took up a lot of time, is really like exhausting, and
all the time
costed money too, and. Yeah, like I could never get a ride or anything because like it was just like my parents worked. And
yeah,
it was, like,
nobody's going to
the
that
time of
end
day
of
was like super weird. It was like,
yeah.
like you get the track from like 3:30 to like 6:30, getting a workout in. So it's kind of so it was just kind of weird for commuting. But I mean, I definitely think it was way more good than bad. Like there's like literally not even like a single like speck or like regret of like going to Bishop like at all. Yeah, like like I definitely know that like going to Bishop, like I don't know, definitely like is why like I mean it definitely is a huge part of who I am today.
Nice.
I feel like I don't think I would have been even close to as successful in running or anything if it wouldn't have been for Bishop and for my coach Julie and stuff. And I don't know. I mean, it wasn't even just her. Like I said, there like I had in my grade, like 9 years, well, like actually the teacher that got me into working out was his name was Sean. It was Mr. Gilroy, but it was and he got me into working out, and he was really supportive of all my running and stuff. And he coached track.
Oh, cool.
And then like just like another person there that was great was like Jean-Gilles Larocque was our athletic director and stuff, and he was like awesome. Yeah, and like just kind of like, and he was like huge in like my senior years, alongside with Julie as well. So, but yeah, like it was. I mean, it was definitely great. I don't think it was like me going to Bishop was like I don't think it was really. I don't think there was really any bad things with it being like a small school. To be honest, I think it was better for me.
It was just more location for your cross country training.
Eventually.
Yeah, which is. Like, there are pros and cons to it, right?
Yeah, it could be a lot worse. I mean, like, there are Track North athletes that live on the island, you know what I mean? So, I can suck it up and get on a city bus.
Nice. So with that, how did you? Because track and field, running cross country, running is your sport.
Yeah.
That's your niche sport. You don't do that and then a bit of basketball or a bit of volleyball or a bit of water polo. You know, like that's your thing.
Yeah.
How did you go about discovering that and like eliminating all the others and saying I want to focus on this?
I mean, honestly, like I'm just like I honestly just don't think I'm that athletic, to be honest. Like I mean, like actual like I'm talking like hand-eye coordination. Like if you ask anybody, like not good at throwing a football, not good at throwing a baseball. Can't really dribble a basketball. I can shoot a basketball.
Nice.
I'm pretty good at shooting. Can't dribble. And then I did play soccer in grade 9 and 10 for Bishop, but really like that was almost like I was just like a reliable player basically in terms of definitely not a scoring threat, but definitely somebody that could like just run outside like midfield and just run everywhere and like just basically like just like cause trouble.
I was one of those
and just like
too.
I tried to I remember playing you guys in soccer too.
Go in the middle, get the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really that's like straight up it. Like, and I think like even just like I don't know, I'm like just like extremely self-critical of myself.
Mm-hmm.
So like just like I just in terms of the sports that I wasn't as confident in when I was younger, I just like would really like beat myself up when like I wouldn't be like I don't know doing as well as I'd hoped to be doing sort of thing. So then like I think I don't know eventually like typically in your junior years in your grade 9 and 10 years you don't want to just be running if you're a runner. Like our coach recommends you to do more. He's like, no, like don't just run. He's like, do other sports.
Experience other
yeah,
stuff,
exactly.
Too. Yeah.
And then in your senior years, you like dial into the sport that you really want to take seriously.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, like I just don't really have like I just don't think I was really that athletic in that aspect of things in terms of like, I don't know. Like I mean, like even like I mean, obviously I can play like. I don't know. Just I think like I would compare myself to other people back then a lot.
Right.
And they were just like I compared like myself to like the people that are probably the best on the team, and I'd just be like, yeah, like I'm pretty trash at basketball compared to that guy, or like, but yeah, it's just kind of I don't know.
Now,
but it just running.
Okay. Do you tend to? Yeah, that's interesting because now I find a lot of people as they grow up, they do that comparative analysis with their peers, and I'm curious because I think I've gotten out of it. I definitely don't look at like athletes or certain people in my sport and go, oh man, well they're older, they're younger than me, and they've done more. No. Do you find you've gotten away from that, and how so?
In terms of like
comparing to your peers. Like they're better than me on the team, so.
I mean, like I wouldn't say compare myself like in that aspect of things. Like I think like I compare myself to other people to push me.
Okay, nice.
Definitely. Like I mean, like I don't look at like my like I mean like example would be like when it would be like Paul.
Yeah.
So like Paul and I ran like similar mileage. We do the same core stretch, same stuff. But Paul was tracked with his cross country machine.
Yeah.
Paul, beauty, OUA All-Star in
shout out,
second year. But yeah, it was like, but I mean, like, and then in that year that he was an OUA All-Star, no, that wasn't that year. It was the year after. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was the year after it was not his second. It was his second year. He was an OUA All-Star. Which was my third year, and that was the year that we qualified for nationals for the first time. But like he won. We would go to this race in the States. Like it was like the Mike Woods, like it was like hosted by Sonny Geneseo. It was like a D3. It was a D3 meet, and he won it. He like won the whole race. And I remember just thinking like, holy shit!
Like what?
Like that's so sick.
Yeah.
And I think I remember like I was top 15, but like I didn't win, so I was like, and I remember just thinking like not like resentful, like and thinking that I ran badly. I was like, well, no, like I also ran well. It's like I ran the best race I could run, and I'm like, I definitely wasn't discouraged by any means, but to me, like seeing him win, it was like as if I won, but I also like it also like pushes me to think like because I want to get there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think of it as like a negative thing. Like, oh, like
Right.
I was the 13th, and like this person was first. I'm like, well, no, it's like, I mean, like, you know, it's one of my best friends like winning, and I'm like, I want to get to that level. And like to me, with Track North, that's how it was. Like all those years, like with Liam, like Liam specifically. Like I remember, like Liam would win, and I'd be like, and I'd finish second behind him or something. But there wouldn't be any like negative feelings about that. It'd be like, I want to get there. I want to beat him, but I don't.
You're gonna be number 2.
Yeah,
but you're still gonna run the best race.
Yeah, but I didn't like look down like at myself like I'm not as good. But I mean. Sometimes, though, sometimes I mean, it depends. Like sometimes, in terms of academics, I can get like that. Sometimes I'll definitely beat up on myself way more academically when it comes to stuff like that.
Oh.
Because I just feel like, because to me, I feel like, I don't know, in a race, when I'm dying at the end, and I'm literally yakking, I'm like, all right, that was the best I had today. That was for sure. But then if I have a bad test, I'm like. I was lazy. I could have studied. I could have studied harder. I could have studied more. Yeah. And the thing is, in terms of my kin gang at LU, there's a pretty solid
group. I love it.
There was me, Jared, Ryan, Shiv, even Chris and Mateo. It was just Isabel. It was a strong group. Everyone was really smart. And everyone did really well. So and I'd consider myself people I'll talk about it and people are no, that's not it. But I consider myself almost one of the weakest links in our group, sort of thing, in terms of that, in terms of studying and stuff. And but that also pushed me because
right. And if you use it that way, it's
good. I wasn't oh, I got an 82 and they got a 90 or a 92. I wasn't I suck. I was well, no, but I'm if I didn't have friends that were doing so well, would I have gotten an 82? Probably not.
Product of your surroundings.
You know what I mean? Exactly. Yeah. 100%. So I'm it's the whole thing with running or even stuff like that. It's you could be in a group and you're the best.
Yeah.
But it's when you surround yourself with people that are better than you at if they're just they're better they're just more efficient in terms of their studying or their running, then that makes you better. So I don't know. To me, with the whole Track North thing going way back, I think me joining Track North and being the scrub of the team at the beginning, basically.
Yeah.
I think that was huge because that made me that pushed me, made me way better.
Right. You almost had no choice to level up because you
exactly.
You don't strike me as the type of person to give up.
No.
So, I killed it Saturday afternoon. And that bone broth is literally 24 hours ago.
I'm drinking it.
If you don't like it, you don't like it, but it's it's full of good shit.
No, yeah, it's good.
So I know it's it's got a lot of amino fatty acids as well as
it looks
it's good for bone development. And my buddy, he shout out to Pat who actually got me started on the bone broth. He has a gut used to have a gut bacteria issue, and drinking bone broth settles it. And he was telling me about that, and I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, crazy effective.
The heck?
Yeah, he's a super smart guy, so anytime he gives a piece of advice, I'm like, oh yeah?
Oh no, you're write it down.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm going to ask you a couple times the same questions just so I remember. So he's going back to it. I think something interesting that you touched on a couple minutes ago with, I want to see your opinion on it, team sports versus individual sports, because you said, oh man, well, I'd see the best guy on the team, and then it's well, I'm shit. And then but if it's an individual sport, you're focused on, okay, if I'm in this group of people, and they're all doing a lot better than me, I bring myself up. Whereas in a team, you can only get so good. There's always going to be a player better. And it's a different thing.
It also just depended on what I was doing though. It was
right.
basically the sports I'm referring to were soccer or basketball, which I wasn't strong at either. I was just so I don't know. That's the thing. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's just how I always looked at it. I guess just because I remember just coming out of high school, I was I felt pretty lonely, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I never had a cross country team. I never actually had a team in high school that scored. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never had a team really. So I guess coming to LU, like that was really big, getting a team.
Mhm.
Like I never had like really good team, especially my grade 12 year. Like I felt pretty, like I don't know, I was just lonely. I felt lonely. I couldn't really. There's a lot of. I just felt like I couldn't share. Like I couldn't really share achievements with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like I mean, obviously I could like with like other runners, but like
Right.
it wasn't. Yeah, like
you get a PB, I'd be pretty stoked for you.
exactly.
Hell,
That's
even
what
when I see on your Instagram, I still get pretty stoked for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
but I
it's
mean, like
different.
in terms of like, but when I would like do something like when I was with LU, like I had like. We had like there were other guys in the race with me that were on my team. You know what I mean? There were other guys at the meet, like, and it was a very different feeling. So I don't know, but I think like I guess like I don't know in terms of like just like the whole individual side of things. Like I feel like there were pros and cons to both, just like there are like to having like the team. I think, but I feel like. There are just I don't know. I feel like there are way more pros to having that team than there were, as opposed to being alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I just like I guess like it was just like my expectations. I guess when I was in high school, like I just kind of knew that we didn't have like we didn't have a really big team or a deep team or anything. So like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I always look back and I always looked at like Track North like. Those were my Track North teammates. You know what I mean? Like we all went to different high schools, but like we're all Track North teammates.
Yeah, the training sessions were similar.
Exactly. We literally we all went to different high schools. It was bizarre.
All of us, yeah.
Yeah.
And all you guys.
I went to Bishop. You went to Lockerbie. Liam went to LaSalle. Ty went to.
Doesn't matter. Probably
Sacred Heart. Yeah, Sacred Heart.
Yeah.
Well, it was Sacred Heart. And then Costello went to Llewellyn. So it was like the weirdest.
It's like, hey, let's pick a group of people. Every single one of them does a different high school in the city.
We literally take pictures and like it's all different jerseys.
Completely
and it's like,
different.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Like literally different parts of town too.
Yeah, it was nowhere close to the other.
No.
But with that, man, when you're competing, I think the best part is competing individually, like for yourself, but being brought up on a team.
Oh, like honestly, yeah,
it's unreal.
Yeah, there were so many times where like the thing is like it like the whole thing I was told myself is like it's up to you. Like if I'm gonna make it happen, like I have to make it happen. So like if it's gonna happen, I need to make it happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know. In terms of my training, like I just like there was a lot that I don't know. Like there were times where like I would feel like pretty down. Like grade 12 was pretty tough. Cross country in grade 12 was tough because like it was like the first time I ever DNF'd a race was in grade 12 cross, and then like I was like really like I just felt like shit. I lost a lot of confidence, and like I knew that it was my last season. It was my grade 12 year.
It's a depressing feeling.
Yeah, exactly. So I was pretty freaking bummed out, and especially after like I basically had like. PTSD from like grade 11 cross country when I missed the offset by one spot and I blew up like on our home course in Sudbury and like my parents came to watch me. And, like my mom and dad like both came and watched me and like and like they're not even like together.
Took the day off.
Yeah, so they both came and watched me and first time they both watched me race and I choked and it was like
it hurts hearing that.
Yeah, it was awful. So I missed the offset by one spot and like. That's kind of that was like my breakout. I'd say like my season was that grade 11 cross season. Cause that's when I caught up.
Yeah.
Like I beat Costello that season. I beat Ty that season. The only person I didn't beat was Liam.
That's your breakthrough year.
Yeah, I got close though in one race, but yeah, I beat him by like 10 seconds. I was like, oh,
but yeah, it's a cool exchange you guys have though, like back and forth.
Oh man, 100%.
It's awesome. And it's cool to see it's you too.
Love you, Liam. You're my best friend.
Yeah, much love, bro. Because it's really cool for me to see when it's like back and forth. Because I always knew he would be up there. So then it's a matter of like just simply because especially now like having talked to Liam for so much time on the show was knowing I'm like okay like his mentality he was coming from like really good at Muay Thai like he's like he was gonna be like up there with whatever he does.
That fighting mentality knows how to hurt.
100%. And then seeing everybody kind of like go back and forth with him, he was the constant, right? And then seeing you just go, I'm gonna take my time and I'm here. What's up, guys? Everyone's like, yo, what's up, dude?
Man, literally, like there's was like this one
It's
race,
cool.
this
It's
one
cool. It's
race.
cool to see
Like
around.
I remember like just being at races in grade 11 and people like there'd be like. I remember I don't remember exactly who it was, but there were like girls on like the on the Lockerbie team, and we're all just kind of like we're all just hanging out, and then they're like, yeah, like you got fast, eh? Like, and I'm like, yeah, I got fast. Like I fucking worked. Sorry,
Yeah.
I worked out a lot
Dude,
this
you
summer. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I trained for it.
I trained,
Yeah.
man. I want to make off. So what the hell? I want to win.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
but that was tough. So then going back to grade 12, like those DNFs and like I just felt a lot of pressure, and I don't know. At that time I was super fixated on comparing myself to other people.
Yeah.
So at that time, it was Costello and I. Yeah. And I just constantly compared myself to him.
Negatively?
Yeah,
Or-
like it wasn't
okay,
positive.
yeah.
It was bad. Like I was
Oof.
like
Yeah,
basically I was like what
I get in
like
the
what the
trap of that
F am I doing
sometimes.
wrong?
Yeah.
Because I was like running more mileage, I was doing more strength, I was stretching more. And he would still beat me, and I'm like, what
all
the
right things.
I'm like,
yeah.
what this? What is this?
What the hell's going on?
Damn it! But it was
Not right.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, but then it's also like that winning mentality, though. You know, like I just didn't have it
He showed
yet.
up on game day.
I didn't have it yet. So,
Yeah.
yeah, and then we were gonna. My coach and I were gonna we were gonna go to pre-off. So it was in Collingwood, or sorry, Duntroon. It was Collingwood, whatever. It's like stupid. What the hell's Duntroon? Anyways, and then so we were going to Collingwood, and like she drove us down in her car, and I wasn't like I wanted to go, and she knew I wanted to go, and she wanted to like bring me, and then like but after like I DNF'd, and like I almost DNF'd the race before right after that one, I was like, you know, maybe we shouldn't go. I don't know if I want to go. Make this freaking like 3-hour commute, 3.5-hour drive down to this
To maybe not
this high level race, yeah, and then to show up and choke and like run like shit. So I was like, I don't even know if I want to do this. And then she was like, nope, we're going to pre-off, son. You're gonna run and it's gonna be good. And
You're
I was like,
finish.
okay.
Yeah.
So then we went down there, and then but I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like the kind of. Sometimes I just even now, like sometimes I'll need that, just like somebody just tell me like. I don't know, like you can do it, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like so, like every once in a while, I need like that little bit of like, just like that little bit of a push sometimes.
And you need it when you're in the shit.
Yeah,
Like,
like that's
you
so
can't-
yeah.
It's like I can tell you all the positive reassurance when you're feeling great, but then
exactly, yeah. It's like well, I'm already.
I can't just put it in
I'm
my
already at
pocket
that
and cash
level.
it out.
I'm already at that level, yeah. But so, drove me down. There was like I think there was like 650 guys in the race, and I finished 35th.
Not bad.
And
Not bad at all.
So like I was pretty stoked.
Yeah.
And I remember like just like I don't know, just finishing and like yeah, my coach was just like really stoked and really supportive, and that was like a really big turning point for me in grade 12 because like I was kind of like at that point. I don't want to say like I was definitely like a really I don't know I was definitely in like I was definitely in the shit I felt like in my head anyways, and I was just and I actually ended up so I was in I was in how did it happen? So I actually got in like our athletic director, Dr. Larocque, Mr. Larocque, got me in contact with one of his contacts, which was a sports psychologist.
Nice.
And her name's Nicole, by the way. Shout out to Nicole. Nicole actually was our team psychologist at Laurentian.
Nice.
So I didn't even know that until I was in my first year. But so he hooked me up with her, and I met up with her once. And I remember that grade 12 season calling her before NASA, like the night before I left to go to the Sioux, and literally like basically like I didn't know what to talk about. Basically, like she was like, so like why are you calling me? And I was like, I don't know. And then she was like, so like do you just like you're gonna be fine basically because I was so freaking panicked that I was gonna like I don't know choke at NASA cross country again because I choked the year before. So I was like panicked and like I don't know like and yeah like and then like the week before at cities like I finished second and I was really happy and like this kind of thing like it was like I had a good mindset going into that because like really in that race I was just focused on like running the best race I could run, and which is really like where I'm at now that's the mindset I've carried since then. Is like just I can only run the best race that I can run, and instead of focusing on other people and like what they're doing and stuff, I just gotta focus on myself. But like it was pretty bad in grade 12 in terms of like how much I would like just dial into that, like dial into other people's running. Didn't matter.
Right, you're not.
That's not me exactly.
Okay.
So and then just so yeah, and basically I was like just like and like yeah, my coach wasn't at cities. I literally had to get like my own. My mom had to drive me to city championships.
Wow.
Like, yeah, didn't had to get myself there.
Yeah.
To rep Bishop. So like I definitely like had a little bit of like I don't know. I definitely didn't feel great. I don't know. Like I always like felt really proud to be from Bishop, but like I wasn't proud that day. I was like, and I was pretty disappointed. Yeah. Just like I don't know. I was alone. Like literally, I hung out with LaSalle that day.
Other people.
Because like Liam's mom, like showed it to Mom and Passy. But Liam's mom is the coach of LaSalle, so I just like hung out with her the whole day pretty much. I was like, yeah, like
hang with the mom.
Don't have my own team or coach here, so I'll hang out with I'll hang out with the other schools, I guess. And then I remember you just warming up, and I was like alone, going to the start line. I was alone. Nobody held. They didn't have us like. I was nobody like how like people like hold spots on the line. It was like none of that. I just like showed up. I was alone, so I just like I had to get my own spot and like.
True,
it was weird, yeah. And then it was just kind of.
Oh man.
Like obviously that's how it is now. Like when I run for Track North for cross, I'm like I'll go anywhere. Like basically I look for the pros. For the pros, I want to line up beside them. Yeah. But back then I was like
you had a much better approach.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't know. I was way more like superstitious and like just like really like. I was way more peaked out back then in high school as opposed to my university career.
Nice.
And, but yeah, and then, I don't know, I made OFSA and then, that year, and I was really stoked and I was pumped, and then I went to OFSA, and yeah, even, like, I don't know, even then, like, just, like, I didn't have, like, the best experience at OFSA in terms of, like just even, like, before OFSA and everything. It was, like, just a weird, I had, like, the weird vibe. But my coach was great though, and she was really awesome to talk to and about everything, and it just felt cool because like it was just us. And even going into like the NASA race before OFSA, like there was some stuff that went down that like really put me in like a bummy headspace. Yeah. So yeah, but I mean like I definitely like wish I could have performed better at OFSA cross, but I got spiked like in the first. It was really weird.
Oh no!
Yeah, I had done true, and there was like it was like a really wide start, and you'd go up a hill. And then there's like a circle at the top, and you're going around the circle. Everyone's turning, right? Mm-hmm. So I got stepped on. I still have the scar like on my ankle, like right in here, from where I got stepped on.
Let's go find that guy.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
He was doing it. I've stepped on people before. It just happened. It happens. It wasn't like intentional, but because it was like a clusterfuck at the beginning.
Yeah,
so.
I've been spiked before.
Yeah, and then. But yeah, so then I finished like I think I was like 70th or something, but like that's nowhere near where I want to be at OFSA. The grade 12 year, I want to be like top 30 or something for sure.
Rightfully so.
And like I was like after finishing 35th at pre-OFSA, I'm like okay, like that was a way bigger field. I should be able to I should be able to replicate it at OFSA with less people. Yeah. I mean, there was probably more
like higher
quality people, sure, but it's like also like I don't know. So yeah. It's like definitely wish I could have performed better at that. But
yeah, also you're training to peak for OFSA, right?
Well, we train to peak for NASA, realistically.
Really?
I mean, really, it's about getting to OFSA first. That's the thing.
That makes
peak
sense.
Peak week is NASA. Peak week number 2 is OFSA.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta get to OFSA first.
Get there. So your best race should be the one before.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean even like that's how I look at like even like when you think about like Olympic qualifications, like there's a lot of people that peak for like. The championships,
the Canadian record, or world records,
exactly
in the Olympic qualifiers.
Yeah, they try to
because the goal is getting to that.
You got to get to the Olympics first, so you got to qualify for the Olympics.
That's huge.
But I don't know, and then like in terms of like, I was in like kind of a bummy headspace, but my coach was great.
Nice.
And like I mean, and like Mr. LaRock was great. Like it was just. I was supported, but I felt like I wasn't. Like there were things going on that like were not in my favor in my grade 12 cross country season. I know that were going on. So like that's why I feel like there was a bit of like I was kind of a little bummed out towards like I don't know. I just felt like there was like I was like, there was resistance to like me almost like succeeding. I was like, I felt like I wasn't being supported. It was really weird, like in terms of being supported. I was like,
it wasn't intentional. It's just the way things were falling. That's how it was.
Yeah, I mean, like,
you don't have to get into it if you don't want to.
There was, I think there was something going on, but that I don't know. I know that my pre-offset trip, like I know like that wasn't. I don't know. I'm pretty sure like people weren't like super pumped about that. I don't know, but yeah, I was just kind of like, I don't know. It just felt like I needed I just needed the support and the boost, and I felt like I didn't get it from like a large part of the people that I usually would, like the people there that I would be counting on. So, but it didn't matter because like the people that I really gave a shit about were like my coach and like Larock and like my friends, and they all supported me. So that's all that mattered.
All that matters at the end of the day.
And of course my family.
Yeah.
My mom, my dad. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to my mom and my dad. You guys are beauties, especially my mom.
Especially my mom.
She's my number one fan.
Nice, dude.
So.
Yeah, I was reading the article, and I saw that. I read that little tidbit, and I was like, nice. Classic.
But, yeah.
I'm curious now. What goes... You say whenever you go to a race, and it's a race that you DNF, or the ones in the past, because I'm assuming it hasn't happened for a while. Hope, like...
Yeah, no, I haven't DNF'd a race.
Glad it had. That is a great sign. Now, what goes through your head when you're about to? Because realistically,
when you're doing it. Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I DNF'd like literally this like in my 4th year in cross country. I was injured. Leave me alone. I just came off a stress fracture.
Yeah.
And I strained both my calves because I came back. I crushed some mileage too quick.
That happens, dude.
Yeah. But what's my headspace like if I'm like when I'm about to DNF or if I'm going to DNF?
What's going through your head? Because realistically, that's a point of failure.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, really, I think about like the future in terms of like, will this benefit me if I'm to finish this race? And it's not even necessarily that. I mean, there's lots of races where you could be having a bad race and you feel like shit, but you're like, okay, like just like finish it as a character building experience, basically.
Nice.
But I mean, in terms of the race that I DNF, like it was London. It was in London. It was the Western like Invitational or whatever. It was our first like big race of the season. We went. It was like really hot, and I strained like both I strained both of my soleus and both of my legs. So not like my not my gastro, but like literally underneath. So like it hurt like. Because it flares out here, right?
It was like a pinch.
It was like, man, it was like the most like awful pain ever. Like walking was hard, like. So yeah, my dumb ass. Like I went from like, just because like I didn't start running until like I think like August 20th was my first run back last year.
Nice.
So, sorry, excuse me. My first run back was like August 20th, and then like. So I think like that race was like September 20th about, so it was like 4 weeks after I started running again.
Wow. Because
I just crushed the bike for like months when I was in my boot because my stress fracture that I refractured, and then so I guess we went into that race. Like that DNF was solely based on the fact that like finishing this race will not benefit me in any way.
It'll only hurt.
It will only hurt me because of how bad the performance is, how bad it's gonna be on my body, and just like it's just detrimental mentally and physically. So then you sometimes, and like just the time of season, that race doesn't matter. It's not OUAs. It's not like it doesn't matter. So
push through.
Exactly, and I wasn't the only one that DNF'd that race. Paul DNF'd that race, and Liam DNF'd that race. Oof. It was a tough day. It was a tough day for the fellas.
Yeah, no kidding.
And
all different reasons, eh?
Yeah,
wasn't
all
of
us. It was all something. Like I think Liam, it was his Achilles.
Oh,
see what I mean? Like these are all sealers. That's what I mean. Like if there's things like that, if the race, it's not a championship race, so it's like, is it really worth it?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like if you're healthy, and you're having a pity party, finish the race. Don't DNF. Yeah. But if you're going into the race borderline. Like nursing something that could turn into something serious.
It does turn in.
It's like, I finished the race. We're in a shit time, and now my Achilles is dicked.
Yeah, it's like.
So that was really worth it. So I mean, that's how I look at it. I don't know, but I mean, like, I absolutely hate DNFing.
I can imagine.
I am like literally
Yeah, mindset of a champion, dude.
Yeah,
you don't want to not
I'd
show
rather
up.
rip like fingernails off than DNF a freaking race, man. Like I
Yeah.
hate that shit so much.
That's-
Like those are like and like
oof.
those put me in terrible headspaces too. Yeah, like I was in a I don't know. I was in a pretty like it's DNFing puts me in a really keka headspace, and like I was in and yeah, like especially this past like cross country season, like because I wasn't even close to the fitness where I was just I basically the way I look at it, that cross country season that just went by is that like I basically was like playing catch up, and like almost like I was like physically like I felt like I was almost in agony like all the time, almost like not in terms like not in terms of injury agony, but like it was like just like trying to like push and just like I just felt like sometimes I feel like there's a lot of pushing and there isn't really a lot of pulling. I don't feel like I'm being pulled sometimes. I feel like I'm just pushing constantly. And that's the thing, like, you need it to pull you. You can't just push. Because, like, I mean, like, because that's how, I don't know, that's how, like, just, like, I don't know, exhaustion happens and you get discouraged. Because if you're always pushing, then you burn out. So you need someone to pull you, because that gives you, I mean, like, honestly, and, like, I think, like, for me, like, in terms of 2020, obviously COVID's been, like, really shitty, but like 2020's been a huge year of like in terms of like being pulled for me, I guess, because like I don't know, like I not even just like running, but in terms of academics too, like I feel like that I'm just so self-critical of myself that I feel like I'm never really doing that well, I guess, sort of things. I feel like I could always be doing better, and yeah, like even just this past year, like in like I mean like thankfully like the one thing is like my last cross country race for Bishop might not have been like it might not have been a race I was really proud of at OFSA. I mean it was at OFSA, so that's
that was the goal,
enough.
Right? Getting
yeah.
to OFSA, that was enough for you.
Exactly.
That's good.
But in terms of like my Laurentian career, like I ended my LU cross country career like I think the best way I could have off of the base that I had.
That's awesome.
Yeah, like I ran like the same. I think I was like a couple seconds faster and a couple spots higher than the spot I was at than I was the year before at nationals on the same course.
Wow.
So like and the conditions were crap like both years. Like it was really windy in 2018, but it was cold this year though. Like it was cold this year.
Running cold sucks.
Yeah, so like
any athletic thing cold.
So yeah, like I don't know, but like in terms of so like that pushed me just like going into like indoors, and then I had a really good build up going indoors, and then like I PB'd in the 15 on my first like our first like official meet of the season, and I qualified for OUAs with that performance as well. And yeah, and then like I just in terms of like 2020, like being just like that pulling feeling, like I just like I've won a couple awards, and like I've just like I have had a breakthrough like just this spring season in my running. Obviously, like none of my times that I've run are official, but like I ran like 14:59 for 5K, and I ran like 31:14 for 10K, and I broke like 25 minutes for the 8K. And like these are all big deals for me, because I just like
no kidding.
I don't know, I feel like I've been trying to like I've always been like a good runner, but I never felt like I was a great runner. You know what I mean? And now I just feel like maybe like I'm finally getting to that next level where I want to be, because I just want to be competitive like now that like because obviously like now I'm done running varsity, but I want to be competitive like on like just
like a world stage.
Yeah, well like not even just that, but just like in terms of like just a big race down south. Like I just want to be in the mix to win. Like I don't know, you know what I mean?
That'd be cool to see.
Like you know, like a big race, or even like the Ottawa 10K. Like I want to be in the mix for like a Canadian Championship or something, or like a podium finish. That's what I mean.
That'd be cool.
Like that's where I want to get. I mean, like I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where I'll be like representing Canada on like a cross team or something. But like that would be great too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I definitely think you're on like the right track to do it.
Yeah.
Like it seems like with the way Laurentian's cross country career for you panned out, it was almost what you were lacking at Bishop, you got in full force at Laurentian. You have teammates holding the line. You have teammates on the line. You're pushing it. You're training. Like, your DNFs are not mental. They're physical.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
mental challenges are harder to work through.
Yeah.
Because that's more internal. Where it's physical, it's like, okay, my knee was busted.
Yeah.
Fix the knee.
Exactly.
You know, it's like, how do I work through this mental block that I'm having that's consistently reoccurring?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
man, it's a good thing that like problems like you have control over it. Because I'm like, man, I have a really good book buddy could read if it's still an issue. But it's like one I was reading where it's like think like because I was having a similar issue where it's I'd always finish second or third. It's never I'd never win number one. So it's like okay.
Yeah, I mean, I never won anything until my grade 12. Like, I never won a race in cross country in my high school career. I did win track though. Like, that's the thing. Like, I remember like in terms of like I finally like I have like my Bishop jersey hung up. It's in a case.
Nice.
And I have like I only have I made this big to-do list and I put it on my wall about like where my bed is. And it was like straight A's, city champion, NASA champion, and OFSA. Then it said scholarship. Nice. So in terms of that to-do list, I got them all, thankfully. But like I got like a couple of those big ones like right at the end though. So like I won my one and only city title in my second last city championship race I'd ever run. Mm-hmm. And then in terms of NASA, which I still look back on, it's probably like in my top. It's probably like if not the best moment of my life when I think back on it. I still think back on it. And I still do, like the amount of pressure that I was feeling that day. And the thing is, I actually was sick in grade 12 too. So so that really was like detrimental to like my confidence and everything too. And like the whole season, I had mono straight up. That's what it was. I had mono, and it's common.
Yeah, I was just like, oh no, it's
so
not good for the timing.
No, so it was awful. Yeah. Which even one of my friends, even one of my coaches had, even what my coach Joe had in his grade 12 year too, when he was like way back in the day. So yeah, so then that was really fucked up, and like I couldn't really train that hard because like my spleen was inflamed. Ooh. So, but like in terms of pushing, like it was really hard. So then I tried to like I don't know, just my confidence was like low, super low, but like my support's just like like I just had like really great support though. That's good. Through like just like like Darren Track North, of course. Yeah, and like
imagine not having him though, and not having people like him.
Oh man,
around because I was thinking about it too. I'm like, he's very dedicated.
Exactly.
To his athletes. So seeing how it would have panned out without him might have been.
I don't know. The way I look at it for people, basically, like as long as there's people like them investing in me, like I don't have an excuse to like not give them like my 100 like all the time sort of thing. That's how I looked at it. That's how I look at it. Like I feel like if there are people like investing time and energy into me, the least I can do is my best for them. You know what I mean? Right. So that's how I always look at it. And yeah, like they just I don't know. It's like there's just people like that are those are the ones that like motivate you and push you to do to just do great things. And I don't know, like if it wasn't for people like Darren and like Julie, like I definitely wouldn't be who I am today. Nice. And yeah, I mean like even like the whole thing like in terms of running like to me I look at my training and I look at my running and like I'm venturing something significant every time I go out for a run. Mm-hmm. And I have to believe that like the sacrifices I'm making at the beginning will be honored in the end. And there's a lot of times where like it would be tough. Like I'd be making sacrifices and I was just like, man, like it just sucks. Like there's a lot of shit that I missed out on. I feel like but to me like it was necessary and it worked out in the end. Like I finally won cities. I finally did win NASA. And like like that NASA, so I had to win the NASA 3K to make it to OFSA. Yeah. So it was literally I was lining up that morning, sick, nervous AF. I basically didn't eat my breakfast. Showed up at the track and I remember just like thinking like I literally need to win this race to make OFSA. Mm-hmm. So like I was lining up thinking like this could be my last.
This is it.
My last race in this like ever running in high school. But then I don't know. Yeah, just like definitely desperation kicked in, and I was like, nope. And then I won, and I remember like Remember I cried. I was so happy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
It's a lot of emotion.
I'm so happy, and like my track coach that was there, Laura. She was tearing up.
Yeah.
This is a great moment. It was hype.
Moment.
Yeah. So that's in like my top like. I have like 4 like distinctive moments,
Nice.
like in terms of my running that are like that I always look back on, and I'm like those were really great moments. That was one of them.
Nice, dude.
But yeah, just like in terms of moments like that, like I don't think I would have been able to like pull it off. I wouldn't have had people like Darren and Julie and my mom investing in me. So
nice.
Yeah, that's just how I look at it. I don't know.
So with all those times where like I want to backpedal to the with the injuries, how much time do you spend in recovery? What's your weekly routine like for recovery and stretching and stuff?
Oh, like after like my run.
Yeah.
So I do like activations before I run.
Yeah.
I do a couple activations, but then I finish my run. And in terms of my like stretching, it's not like that crazy. Like I do static stretching really like right after, like while I'm still warm, and then depending on like if I do strength after or not, but. And then I always roll out. Always roll out. And then like I do like I ice if I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try like especially like rolling out my feet, so my feet just get like I'm pretty flat-footed. So like this like my left one's specifically a little puffy. So like I try to like roll that out as much as I can. But
nice. I
mean really like it's not really that like in depth. I mean like if you talk to Liam about his like it's definitely a lot larger than mine. Yeah. But
nice.
Yeah, like I don't really have to like. It's not really that crazy, really. I just try to hydrate, make sure I just get like, I don't know, like the proper like fluids in, and just I don't know like nutrition, and make sure that I'm ready to go the next day, sort of thing. But
nice.
in terms of injuries though, like it really does depend on like what I'm going through or like what's happening. But if I'm not gonna run, I'm gonna bike. But
sure, doing that. You're doing something to get your
definitely, yeah, or like doing like a pool run or something.
Nice.
I hate swimming.
Yeah?
No swimming here.
You're not a swimming guy?
Never, ever am I gonna swim for. Oh my god, I could never do a triathlon. I would die.
I could never do. Well, how about this, dude?
Totally
When we do a fucking. If we ever do a quadrathlon together, I'll hire you for the run.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, don't put me in for the swim.
Yeah, I can handle the swim in the boat. The bike, maybe. Maybe one day we'll see. I'm not much of a I like to bike recreationally with my buddies, but I don't really want to race bikes.
Yeah.
Swimming's just I'm very aquatic, so I like water.
Yeah,
stuff like that. I don't know. But yeah, no man, I definitely if I ever needed a runner for a team, I'd want to. Because I was thinking of that, but then the beating got canceled because
yeah, man,
there's this thing going on called COVID-19 that we all have to deal with.
COVID.
So, but with that. How do you switch your thinking from when you go through a phase, or even how do you bounce back from like a setback, like a DNF, or you feeling like you're just going to choke in the next race? How do you bounce back from that and turn that into something positive where you can go on the offensive and then race better than ever before?
Yeah. I mean, really, like, to me, it's... Like, I don't know, the way I look at it is, like, those bad days and, like, those injuries, like, I don't know, like, I'm, like, a firm believer in, like, everything happens for a reason sort of thing. And, like, I have a lot of faith in my racing and in my training and just in my everyday life. And I don't know. It's just, like, whenever, like, you know, when shit's going south, I just know that it's gonna work out, mainly because I just believe that everything happens for a reason. You know, but I mean, it's not gonna work itself out. I need to work it out, obviously. But in terms of like my injuries, like they're gonna get better, and I'm gonna get back to where I want to be and do what I want to do. And in terms of, sorry, excuse me. Yeah. And in terms of, like races, I guess. And like when I'm just like in a bummy mindset, or if I DNF or have a shit run, it's just like, you know, like I just, you know, I beat up on myself there for like a little bit, but there's only like a small window where I allow myself to do it, because then it's in the past. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's in the past, and there's nothing I can do about it. Just like a bad test. You know what I mean? But you bomb a midterm, we'll do better on the next one. You know, that's it. I still beat the shit out of myself for like the day I get the test back or the day of the test, and I know I bombed
Feels
it.
bad.
Yeah, you know, same thing with a race. You know, if a race goes bad, I'm definitely not happy. But I mean, in terms of like sometimes though, like with races, like I'll be disappointed, but like I also know that that's the best I could do at that time and on that day.
That's the moment.
Because like I definitely always give my 100% when I race, like always. So it's like, yeah, and it's just, I don't know. I just really believe that like it's happening for a reason, and I look at the bad days and the bad races. And I just kind of like use them as almost like character building. And I'm like, these are
smart.
I think of a bad day as a character building day.
Yeah.
I don't think of it as a bad day. You know, I may be in a bad mood, but it's a character building day. You know, I think that those days.
I love that.
Yeah, and you know what, man? Like, it's like, I mean, like, I don't know, just it's even way back. Like I got so the reason why I went senior 3 years ago, I got held back grade 1, right?
Right.
So I got held back. So I basically was illiterate. I couldn't read, and my writing wasn't strong. But really, I couldn't read. I was like really awful at reading.
That was it.
Yeah. So I got held back, and like I don't know, and I just like really like had like really low confidence. And I remember like being in like the 3rd grade, in like the 2nd grade even they call on you like, hey, like Glenn, like can you read pages
drives me nuts.
17
still to this day
to 19. Yeah, I hate that shit. So yeah, I still do, but I mean, obviously, I'm not like. But man, when I was a kid, I'd be like reading, and my reading would be weak. Yeah. But it's not even that it was weak. Cause I saw a tutor down like my street actually, and she was great. Shout out to Mrs. Smith. But really, yeah. And then it was just, but like my confidence was like so low, and like my ability. Because like, and I remember like I'd like tear up and stuff. And I'd be like readings because I was so like self-conscious of like me being bad.
Such a big fear.
And yeah, and then like I remember like even like they'd pull me out of class and we'd do like I'd have to do this like I don't know what it was. They'd pull they'd like make me like do like extra like reading exercises like on the side and stuff. It was like really weird. But I remember like just hating it and being like, man, like. I don't want to be here, and I don't think I should be here, and I just remember being, like, really hard on myself all the time, even when I was a kid. And, yeah, I don't know, it's just, like, always really small, and, like, I always had a lot of friends and everything, but it's just, like, I was never, like, really happy with, like, myself.
Yeah, you're self-esteem was
exactly. Even as a kid, like, I just... It was pretty bummy, and then, like, but yeah, it was just kind of... And then that's what I mean. Like running was kind of like a gateway for me in terms of like me just feeling a lot better about myself. Nice. But I mean, just in general. But even that whole like the whole pipes thing, I got that from like so like Mr. LaRock gave me that nickname when I was in grade 9 because I started running in grade 9, but I also started lifting in grade 9. And I put on like...
And your biceps just tweak right out, and you're like, yeah.
I put, so they started calling me freaking pipes.
I love that nickname, that's too funny.
Oh my gosh. Still sticks today.
Yeah, dude. So you fucking still got biceps today, you know?
Yeah.
But to that though, because I'm only just overcoming one of my like biggest self-esteem issues I've faced, and I find you're aware of it, right? If you're not aware of it, it becomes an issue to deal with. But I find when you're aware of it, you're able to find a solution for a problem because you admit you have the problem.
Yeah, definitely.
But mine it's always similar where it comes and goes different ways where I am athletic. I was like coordination, probably because I'm Italian, I played a lot of foosball. So my hand-eye coordination was there, but I don't know if it was good or not. Lost a lot of money to old guys, but it was a rough time. Guys. Yeah, it was a rough time working at the Caruso Club after hours.
Oh man!
Now, I won't get into that. That's a different episode for that's a different time. But yeah, I don't want to talk about that one on camera. But moving forward, it was always like if that was what I was good at or what I was known for, or just a bit better than the average bear at. I've almost conquered it, but it's an insecurity on my intelligence. Like, I don't feel... I always feel like smart is always something that... Like, somebody said it to me a couple weeks ago. They're like, yeah, it was a buddy of mine, and he's a really smart dude when it comes to, like, machines. He's very mechanically inclined. He was like, you know, Glenn, you're like a smarter version of one of my friends. And I was like, oh, what does your friend do? And I think it was, like, some, like, engineering thing. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. And all he did was just say, like, you're like, you know, you're a smart guy. And I was like, hold on a second. What?
What?
But, like, using that, it's now something that I've had to... I want to now know everything about everyone and everything about everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I want to know everything from, like, why is that bone broth good? How did we make it? How do we get it? How did you know, everything down to who, like, why World War I started. Like, everything.
Why World War I?
And that's where, like, this inspiration for the show is, it's like, man, everybody's got something, I want to know it.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool.
Yeah, dude, it's an awareness thing, and I think you're on it when you've gotten past that hump, and now it's like, you know what, you found your niche, you found the focus point for what you need to do, and then I like that you said you wrote down your goals. Now, has that list been updated since?
Yeah, so I made one for university.
Nice.
It was like, so at the time, like, I thought like an 8.0 GPA was an 80 average, so like that's on there, but an 8.0 is actually like, I think it's an 82.5 average at LU.
Okay.
So that was on there. I sadly did not get the 8.0 at the end of my degree, but it was close. I was like a 7.9, so I was close. But I thought that was an 80. So like so technically, like, I achieved my goal of having above an 80 average through my undergrad.
It just wasn't the...
Yeah, my goal was to get like graduate with cum laude, like honors. So like I got that. So I was like,
congrats, bro.
Bless, thank you. Yeah.
And
like I wanted to be like an all-Canadian, so I was that 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Academic all-Canadian.
Yeah.
Not all-Canadian, but yeah, I wasn't that good. And then and then like I just wanted to qualify for UAs in track, make U sports in cross country, and like that was it. Yeah, it was like so above an 80 average, all-Canadian, and then like qualify like for OUAs individually. Because like because for OUA's track, you're like individual. You have to like hit a standard to qualify to actually compete at the meet. Yeah. And that's actually one of my top 4 moments was the first time I did it. Yeah.
But that felt phenomenal.
Oh man, it was great. Yeah. I cried that day too. Emotional, just an emotional mess on those days. Dude,
when you hit a goal on something that's written down.
The thing is,
so huge of feeling.
Every single time, all these 4 moments were all like when I was like in the shit, like the weeks leading up. Yeah. I felt like bummy. I wasn't sleeping. I was like feeling down on myself, sort of thing. But then I just like pull it out, and then it just greatness happens, and I'm just it feels like there's a lot of times, and yeah, so like that list. I don't have a to-do list actually. Yeah, I don't have a to-do list like for right now for like Cairo. It's really like, I mean, obviously I'm not a varsity athlete anymore, but like I do have goals for running, but like that I don't think that needs to be on a to-do list. I just know what they are in me. Like I want to run like a 68-minute half marathons like within the next like 2 years sort of thing, or 18 months depending on how things are going. Mm-hmm. And like I want to run. Yeah, like officially sub 15 for a 5K, and I want to run like sub 31 for 10K and stuff. You know what I mean? These are goals, but I don't think they're like really the things I need to write down.
Right.
Like I just know what they are. They're just like always like I just think about them. In terms of like just running, in terms of school though, I just like really just want to do well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like
I got accepted to Canadian
Canadian Memorial Chiropractic College. Yeah, so that's where I'm going. Nice. Yeah, CMCC.
That'll be sick, dude. You're in it now. When I said that to you on the phone, I was like, you can't, like, you're in it now. It's just a matter of go through the motions.
Yeah, exactly. So really, I just really want to do well. I mean, I don't have like a specific goal. I mean, like honestly, man, I just want to get like, I just want to be in like the 70s and 80s.
Nice.
If I can be. That's the goal, because I think as long as you're above a 60, you're passing.
That's it. It is 60, like
exactly.
60 minimum.
So yeah. I mean, as long as you're above a 60,
of course it is.
You can be 65 or you can be 85. I don't think it matters because it doesn't matter. So
my dad said it though. He was like, Do you want a doctor who had a
Okay, well,
50 or
yeah, I know.
But it's like if I know you came out with the most amount and you got the most out of your education, I'd be more inclined to go to your practice.
It's totally valid, yeah.
So
that's true.
But I understand what you're saying.
Like I said, I want to do well. I don't consider anything like below like a 75 really that.
It's not
well.
Yeah.
But I mean, like realistically, I think like going into this, like as long as I'm like above a 70. I'll be happy.
Nice.
I'll be happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but really, I just want to be like happy and healthy. Like I have posters, kind of like all over that I'll be like printing sort of thing.
Nice.
And
you're going out of town for that.
Yeah. So I already have posters. Like I've already like driven written some up there. Like the I think it's like Arnold's like 6 Rules to Success or whatever.
Nice.
So I have like that one, and then I just have like posters, and they're from like just like an Instagram page, but like they're like wallpapers, and it's like cool. Basically it's like one of them is like on my phone, it's like all the pain, all the long hours, like soon it'll all pay off, keep going.
I love it.
So like that to me, I just relate that to everything. That's like my training, that's my studying,
process,
that's everything. Yeah. And there's other ones where it's like, yeah, it's like on the other side of like this struggle is like the life that you desire and all that.
Yeah.
And it's like. There's a lot, actually, yeah. There's other ones, but yeah, there's like... And one of them... I want to read it. It's on my phone.
Read it. Alright, dude, so what are these, 6... What are these 6 things? Oh, you've never gone out of town for school, any?
Nope.
At all? No? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's another big thing. Wow.
Yeah, man.
Dude, that's a learning experience.
I'm moving down a little early there to kind of get used to just like doing groceries and even just like where to run down there and stuff.
Bro,
I want to get into a routine. You know what I mean before classes start.
That is huge.
Yeah.
And second of all, I found when I moved, you want to talk character building? You like those?
Yeah, sure. Go. Oh yeah.
Get ready for the first time you go. And whoever drops you off leaves.
Oh, I'm driving myself, man. What do you mean? I got a car. What the heck?
Right, good point.
I mean, I guess saying bye when I leave here.
Like, it's a long time. I still remember how I felt when my brother and my mom, like, dropped me off. They had my stuff, and they were like, peace out, and then they went back. I was like...
And you're just there.
I'm in it now. This is a big city. I've never been to this part of it. Let's go find out what's going on. I know nobody. So I go on Facebook, find out who's moved in Ottawa, who lives in Ottawa, and I call every single one of them. That's how it's done. I was like, yo, my buddy's from camp. So
the thing is, like, I'm safe for that thing, though, because like, well, because I'm not the only one that got into like, gyro like from like LU this year. So like, I have friends that like I have people that I know, and I've been talking to my roommates that I'm moving in with. They're both second years. I've been talking to them already. There's gonna be 3 first years living below me in the house. Yeah. I've talked to one of them already.
That's not bad.
Yeah, so like I've been like, you know what I mean. And I went down there last weekend, and I like just moved like my bed and my desk in. That's it right now though, just to see the place. I want to go see it too.
Smart.
And yeah, and then like one of my closest friends there. Shout out to Ryan Faubert. Just finished his first year there, and he's already sent me some stuff to like kind of get ahead and study.
Nice.
Yeah, and like he was in kin as well with me, so it was awesome. So I have that, and he like lives down the street from me. Yeah. Yeah, and it's like right in the school. But yeah, like some like these wallpapers, they just fire me up. One of them is this one, this Mo Farah one.
Nice. I love it. Dude, he's so fast.
It says, yeah, man.
I don't understand.
It says, don't dream of winning, train for it. I have this on my wall in my room. This poster. Yeah. That was like my motto for many years when I was trying to catch up to the fellas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of one that I was
like, I wanted to win, and I'm like, you know, I was just thinking about winning. I'm like, man, there's one thing that's dreaming about it, but you got to train for it if you want to win.
Yeah.
And then this is another one that's like that I'm like really taking seriously. Like right now, it's like life will always be the hardest when you're crossing over to a new level. Like don't get discouraged. So I feel like I'm crossing over that new level. And like school's gonna be like more intense, and everything's gonna be like more intense and like heavy, more expensive. But you know
That's
what?
Huge.
It's gotta like remember that it's a part of it. And there's another one. It's like don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. All your hard work will pay off. Like, yeah, so they're just like literally just like see they're like just like
let's throw one. I'm gonna find one of mine because I think you'll like this one. It's I hate Instagram. I have my own battles with Instagram sometimes because it's like, dude, there's way too much. I could get into it, but I won't for the sake of this. But here it is. If you want to look good in front of thousands, you have to outwork thousands in front of nobody.
Yep.
Good players work out. Great players outwork.
Yep.
Because it's not about being good. It's about being great. And like everything from, and I find now especially, and I want to give the example, but when I went to a tournament, and the first fight of the tournament was against a guy who had beaten me before.
Oh yeah.
Similar scenario, same match time, same rule set, everything. I was like, well, what do I do? So, beat him, wrapped him up in a submission, tapped him, and then we moved forward. And my buddy won his fight, and then we ended up closing out the division. And it's a feeling of, like, your teammates. And he's the guy who, shout out to you, Corey, he knows exactly who he is. He's the type of person who, like, will go an extra 5 hours a week in the month leading up to a tournament or the month leading up to like a competition, but that's if he's competing and I'm not. We're both doing an extra 5 because that's a teammate thing.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, exactly. More bodies on the mats, more people here, more people at the gym. Everyone kind of kicks it up a notch in order to outwork the people who like your competition is working twice as hard.
Yep.
So you have to work twice as hard with them.
Exactly.
It's the best and like most intimidating. It's intimidating as well though.
No, definitely. Yeah, I definitely know what you mean. Yeah, 100%. I mean, even like that's the thing. Like, well, in terms of like the men's team at LU, like those moments. I'm gonna get into those moments that I was referring to. Two of them are like, because two of them are individual, which is like when I won NASA. Then the other one was when was in my second year. I guess we'll go in like order. It was in second year, and yeah, I was like, man, my indoor season was like not going to plan. Just came off like heartbreaking cross country, missing OUAs by 3, missing U Sports by 3 points. So like it was just kind of like, man. So I was going into indoors and like my 3K just wasn't my clicking, and my 15 wasn't getting any better. And I'm like, man, like what the hell is going on?
What do I do?
So then just like there's like the 1K, and I'm like, like I'm not really like I've always been like a long distance runner more, and then like I dabble in the middle distance. I've never really done middle distance like actually really that competitively. And then but then I approached Darren about it, and I'm like, Darren, I think at last chance, so it's like the meet, like it's called the last chance meet because it's your last chance to qualify. Like either you make it or break it at the meet. I love it. So then I rolled up to this meet, and I'm like, I'm gonna run the 1K. First time I ever run it. And at the time, like I never broken 2 minutes for the 800 or anything like that. And in this 1K, I broke 2 minutes. I broke 2 minutes for the 800, and I ran like it was like 2:32 I think for the K, or 2:33. It was 2:33.
That's fast.
So my last 200 was a little rough. Thanks.
That's quick, bro.
So I was a little rough for the last 200, but it didn't matter because I qualified by like I think
you got your 8.
The standard was only 2:37. I was 2:33, so I had like 4 whole seconds on like the standard. So like I was like way under it. And that was like a huge moment for me because I remember like me like desperately needing like something to go right at that time. Because I remember like school was whooping my ass. I wasn't very happy with like I don't know, just like
personal stuff.
Yeah, just like other things, and I just and I was like, and I just don't sleep well typically.
Yeah.
And then like, even now I just don't sleep well. I don't sleep a lot. I don't know. People are like, I need like 9 hours to live. I need like.
Dude, I function off 6 to 6.5.
Man, same, exactly. Like
and
I can't
full energy.
I can't even sleep even sleep past like 8 hours, or even 7.5.
Yeah, that's pushing it.
So 6.5 is where I'm at, and and I was just like, it was just like it's just that's what I mean. Like I'm going like it's just I'm in this shit and I feel like shit, and then it's like then I have like that breakthrough moment, that performance or something, and then poof. And then, like, man, it's like momentum, man. Freaking momentum's such a big thing. because like that got the ball rolling, and I freaking rode that shit all the way through the summer.
Nice.
Man, I was like school got better after that race. Nice. I ran really well at OUAs. I PB'd my 15 at OUAs.
Sweet, dude.
And then then school was better, and then like that outdoor season, I dropped my 15 PB down 6 seconds. I won a couple races, ran at nationals.
Nice.
Yeah, like it was like that was just a big. And that's kind of when that's also when I got like my partnership with Boss Supplements. Shout out to Boss Supplements. Because they that's when I made a deal with them to kind of help me out and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just like that was just like a big year, and I just rode that wave all the way. Like all the way, it honestly didn't slow down. I feel like I had like just a great summer season, great training going into cross country.
Yeah.
Hit the highest mileage I ever hit going in, and then the third year was I continued, but then third year always like the beginning it got bad. I don't know, shit was just rough, and then I remember going to OUAs, and I remember somebody in my family was really sick, and that I was really close to, and they had cancer. I don't know if they had cancer now or or if they do still have it. They don't tell me. They don't want me to worry, so they don't tell me. And anyways, and then I remember just feeling very heavy, and I don't know, just wasn't in a great headspace. And going into OUAs that year, and I remember that's where this picture is that day was this is it's a pretty. So this is that OUA last chance race on the line.
Nice, yeah, I love that.
So there's that
dude, I got a little nervous when I saw it. I was like, oh shit.
And then this is the race I'm talking about right now.
I love that one. That's the funniest. I don't know if you were. I'm like, man, I wanted to ask you. I was like, man, are you intentionally making faces on the line?
Nope, that's just that's me. My competitive mindset, and different person completely.
I can imagine.
And and then we qualified for OUAs, and it was just a really huge moment, and we did it, and it was just that was another moment. That was another time where things were shit, but then we pulled it off,
propelled, yeah.
and that was really special because we did it as a team. It wasn't just me.
Nice.
I mean, at the end of the day, it is, to me, it's up to us individually. Whenever I look at something. And I remember the same day that I qualified for OUAs at that last chance, Liam did the same thing in the 3K. And I remember just telling him, yelling in his face, when he was running by me on the, I'd be like, it's up to you, man. I just yelling, it's up to you, because if you want to make it happen, you have to do it.
Yeah, you're here. The moment's now.
Exactly. So
time's ticking.
They pulled it off. We both did it. So that was a huge day. And then we
both you, man.
Yeah. And then we qualified for nationals, and it was the first nationals berth in 19 years for our men's team, and that was huge. Nice,
wow.
Yeah, and then third year came and gone, and then I got a stress fracture last summer, and that's when I was really that's probably some of the darkest times I was in, because I was taking 2 summer courses. I had an internship, and I was in my boot. So I was busy. I was taking it was I
remember that. That's yeah.
So I was in my boot.
That was last summer.
Literally all last summer I was in my boot.
And you couldn't run the beer mile.
Yeah, I couldn't run. That's right. Holy crap, man.
I remember
you were there. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I still have to put the footage together for a video. But it'll work. I have time. I'm able to do it. So
gosh.
It'll be funny.
And then we're going to do... We actually did one a couple weeks ago, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
nice, dude. Yeah? I was thinking about it today when I was like, okay, I was like, I want to... next time when he does it, I kind of think I could send it, because I think I could handle the beer drinking part. Dude, I shotgun all my beers.
That's the worst part, man.
Yeah. But the running, I'm like,
the running's not even bad.
They would
demo me. If you can drink and not yak, you're going to win, because we can run really well, but we can't drink really fast and then run fast.
I thought it was a matter of. I think it's a matter of what holding. Liam or you said it. It's the beer staying down.
Yeah, that's literally it, dude.
It's just going and staying, and once it settles, it's good.
Don't yak.
But
no penalty laps. That'll get you.
It's a shame you can't just pound 4 beers and run a mile, right? But whatever.
But yeah, it was like super freaking bummy summer, and I was in a really fucking shitty mood all the time, and I was just like really. I don't know. I felt like I was like my legs got like significantly bigger. I've lost it now, like, but
nice.
They were like just because I biked all the time, so they were like
you got biker quads.
I got freaking biker quads last summer.
Biker quads are nuts.
I was freaking filling all my shorts, and I almost like ripped them sitting down and shit. I was like, oh my gosh,
it's a good thing.
And then
getting a bit thick.
Yeah, but that's not good for running though. I don't need thick thighs
to
be efficient and fast. And then a refraction it, which was like really freaking annoying and frustrating and rough. And then, then I just coming into like this season, like I was coming out from an injury, and Paul was injured, so he didn't run this year. And our athletic department made it that we had to finish not top 7 at OUs, but top 6 this year. So we do even better
to maintain your scholarship.
No, to make it to U Sports.
Oh no.
So we had to be top 6 at OUAs, and like when you look at OUAs, you look at there are big the big schools. There's U of T, Queens,
Western,
yeah. Windsor,
yeah,
Guelph.
What about Carleton, Ottawa U? Or not for running, eh?
But then there's also McMaster.
Yeah.
So like that's 6
big
schools, strong schools. And we had to beat one of them. And we're like LU, is like small.
It's a pretty new program.
Yeah.
For men's at least.
Yeah, I know. It took us 5 years. In 5 years, we went from 12th at OUAs to 12th in the country. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's not bad. Good for you guys.
From 12th in the province to 12th in the country. Yeah.
Oh, you wow.
So then like we were the odds were like hella stacked against us this past year, but yeah, like that was another day where like I just like I don't know, it was just like our team pulled it off, and then we finished 6th. We beat U of T, and like we beat U of T. That's a thick.
That doesn't just happen.
That's a thick team.
That's a thick.
Shout out to the U of T guys. You guys are beauties.
Sick school.
Good team.
Yeah.
Dang, yeah. Like, so that was a big day, and then then we ran, and then we finished 12th in the country at U Sports, and it was huge. And that was even like a great day for our team. Like I had a really good day. That was my best race of the season by far. But there were like some guys on the team that just didn't have a great day. But that just happens. But we still finished. But we still did better than we did the year before, which is all that matters. It's about just the progression. We were 7th at OUAs, and then 13th in 2018, and then in 2019 we were 6th and 12th. So we were 1 spot higher at OUAs and 1 spot higher at U Sports.
Yeah.
So like that's how you like. It really depends. Like like it was great. Like I was like we were all satisfied realistically. Like we wanted to be top 10, but then like Paul like redshirted, which was like obviously like he was top. He was our low stick last year. So like it was kind of like, but people did step up. Like Eric stepped up. Shout out to Eric and the fellas. Keon, our rookie of the year at LU. Shout out to Keon. And yeah, just like inland Liam, just consistent, always consistent. So always reliable. And and it was just like that. Like those were the other moments. Like those two U Sports berths,
team
OUAs, and then when I won NASA.
Nice.
Those are like those are like my 4 like really defining moments that I look back on in terms of my running. But yeah, I mean it's just the way I look at it is just like. In terms of everything, like I mean, like even like there's times where like just the whole like being so self-critical, like in terms of academics, I never like really thought it was like that. Like I never, like, I mean, like I was doing well, but I never thought I was doing like I just never thought in my mind I'm not doing great. You know what I mean? So like I even like I won an award at my graduation this year.
Nice.
Yeah, like it was
academic.
Like, an academic. Yeah, it was like the kinesiology dedication award.
Nice.
Like that was a huge deal for me because like winning an award is like one thing, but winning an award at your graduation like when you're graduating university is like
That's a different thing.
that's a big deal. Yeah, that was a big deal for me. I was like that was a huge deal. I'm pissed I had to find it. I had to fucking find out when I got it over, you know, a YouTube video scrolling, because like I couldn't go to my grad. I didn't have a grad, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to COVID,
Okay.
ruining a lot of shit. I was supposed to be at Oshiega this weekend. That was the plan.
Dude, I don't know. Those I could do Blues Fest, but things like Oshiega.
Well, I haven't been to Oshiega before.
Like I'm.
Oh man, I went to Way Home.
Yeah,
Boots.
Way Home's another one. Boots I would do, but
You wouldn't go to Veld?
Here's
Veld
the
or
thing. No.
Oshiega?
Here's what I would do. I would go to those places as a media producer and go behind the scenes and live that experience. I wouldn't really want to be a person in the crowd. It's just not really it's not my thing. I'm very introverted, but I can be extra. I
love it. I started Chance when I was at Veld.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
That's
I was also pretty buckled though.
Yeah, I would have to be.
Yeah.
I would have to be, because I think of me doing it sober, and I'm like,
Well, no, that's why. What the heck?
All right. You can beat me up later about that. All right. But yeah. So with that, then, since this seems seemingly, let's close on a reflection piece. So I'm curious, what is one lesson that stood out to you that you've learned over the course of your university career?
One lesson
So far
that stood out to me.
Yeah. So one lesson you've learned that's just the biggest one you think.
I guess probably like in terms of university, definitely like I don't know, like cohesion, like I don't know, working together, teamwork. That's probably like the one major lesson I've learned. Like I said, like in high school, like I was like the only runner. This is in grade 12. I was like legitimately the only runner. And then for academics, like I had friends. I had great friends in high school, but really like. You studied. I studied alone. You were alone. So then, like in terms of university, like if you want to succeed, like you need to have like a solid. I mean, at least in my mind, you need to have a solid group of people that you can rely on for studying, and then for running, I had a solid group of people behind me. And to me, like I guess, like like the major like lesson that I learned. I mean, obviously, like the lessons that I always that I'll always remember is like the things like the whole like. Really paying, like just like giving back, I think is like a huge lesson that I've learned that I really want to like get across, and like I think like I'm probably gonna write something up actually about my whole LU experience.
Where would you put it?
I think I'm gonna put it on Instagram.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty long though. That's why probably put it on Facebook too.
When you do it, I'll share it for sure, and
Okay.
let me know. I'll try to find a way of dispersing it on the show. It doesn't have to be direct. I'm just trying to think of another way we can do it with what I already have set up.
Yeah, basically, I've actually already written it. It's been on my phone for like
okay.
a month and a half. Yeah, I just wrote it, and it's basically me just like talking about my experience with the team, not so much the school, but with the team.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't know, like the way I always look at it is that I ran for my teammates and I ran for Dick and Darren. I didn't run for Laurentian University. I was a Voyager.
You
but
represent it.
I represent.
Yeah.
To me, I represent myself, my teammates, and my coaches. I feel yes, I did represent Laurentian University, but that's a whole other thing that it's probably not up to me to get into.
Yeah.
That aspect of things, but
Yeah, we don't have to.
yeah, it's like the whole financial side of things. That's not really my forte.
Yeah, you don't have to get into
my
that.
forte,
Before,
especially.
we don't have to.
I don't know all the details either, so I don't want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't convolute that kind of stuff. So
Exactly.
we'll stay.
But
with
yeah,
it.
no, definitely something that I've learned is giving back and just like being a freaking team player, man. Be a team player. Like to me, like if you want people to help you, you need to help people. You know, that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Like if I want my friends to help me out, I expect like not that I don't have expectations. One of my best friends like always told me like just not to have expectations for other people. Because you sort of thing.
You get disappointed.
Exactly. Just have, like it's okay to have have expectations for yourself, but don't count on other people, like in terms of expectations, which I totally get.
Right.
But yeah, like exactly. When I say like if somebody helps me out, my expectations of myself are to help them.
I see
that's what I mean. So,
Okay.
So yeah, that's like the one thing I think those like the major things I've learned, giving back and just like being a team player.
Nice.
And being Ferda basically.
Ferda, for the team, for the boys,
for the
ladies, for them all. So, dude, with that, I want to say first and foremost, congratulations on all your accomplishments so far. I look forward to in a few years when you're done. It's 4 years, eh?
Yeah.
Doctorate
degree.
I am stoked for then when you're not too busy post grad to come back on the show and chat about that some more.
Oh, for sure, man.
And at that point, I'll have not only my own studio that won't be in somebody else's gym, but I'll have a mecca. This will be a worldwide empire.
Man, this is great though.
This is pretty sweet, eh?
Did you set this all up?
Yeah. I turned the chairs from facing that way to this way. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think Mitch wants to do it with cigar smoke, but I'm good. Because, I can't really see when there's a lot of haze. And there's no windows or anything, so it's pretty bad. Yeah, I think there's no windows that can be vented, no screens, so they don't open. But, so, brother, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
I look forward to seeing more of your process, and I appreciate your time.
Thanks, man.
So,
thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So, check him out. His Instagram will be below. Thanks, guys, for paying attention. Hit subscribe because I know most of you who watch this aren't subscribed. I have the analytics. I can see all that stuff. So, much love. Thanks, Caleb. And we'll talk to you guys later.
Where you been? Where you going? Is your life really golden?